In today's video, I'm going to be looking at the song Baby Lemonade by Syd Barrett. And I'm a big Syd Barrett fan. I have looked at one Syd Barrett song on this channel previously. That was Terrapin, but that was a few years back now. So I thought it was about time I looked at another one. And I think this has also been requested by somebody quite recently as well. Now, if you know this chord shape and this chord shape, then you'll be able to play this song. It's not too difficult to play. I'm going to begin by playing through the track. I think I'm going to play the whole thing just because I feel like it, and then I'll talk about what's going on.
Sad town, cold iron hands clap the party of clowns outside. Rain falls in grey far away. Please, please, baby lemonade. In the evening, sun going down. Streams in the morning. Send a cage through the post. Make your name like a ghost. Please, please, baby lemonade. I'm screaming, I met you this way. You're nice to me like ice. In the clock they sent through a washing machine. Come around, make it soon, so alone. Please, please, baby lemonade. The party of clowns outside. Rain falls in grey far away. Please, please, baby lemonade. In the evening, sun going down. When the earth streams in the morning. Send a cage through the post, make your name like a ghost. Please, please, baby lemonade.
So this one came out in 1970, I think, and it was the first track on the album Barrett, which was Syd's second solo record, and he made it at Abbey Road Studios with the assistance of Dave Gilmour and Richard Wright from Pink Floyd. And it's just such a great song, and for some people I think there is a bit of a difficulty getting into Barrett with the eccentricity and the kind of whimsical nature of some of his stuff, but you really need to give it a chance because nobody else writes songs like this. And I love the melody of this one, the lyrics, the way the chords move in such an unexpected way. It's just real genius. So what I'm going to do is take you through the basic acoustic guitar part. I think the acoustic was played by Dave Gilmour on a 12-string guitar on the original recording. It might have been double tracked by Barrett on a regular 6-string, I'm not sure about that. and then the electric parts were played by Barrett. And I kind of played some electric stuff at the start over my playthrough, and I didn't do exactly what's on the record. I kind of made it my own a little bit and did my own thing in certain places, so I will take you through what I'm doing there as well. I want to start by briefly taking you through the main rhythm guitar parts. As I just said, these are probably played on the original recording by Dave Gilmour on a 12 string, but it really doesn't matter whether you play it on a 12 string or on a 6 string, it's going to sound just as good. It's the same chord shapes involved. In fact, there are a couple of great radio sessions where you can hear Barrett playing the tune and he's playing it on a regular 6 string, so up to you which you use. Now, as far as the key of this song goes, it's actually quite hard to say, and I sometimes wonder as to the point of analysing songs like this in terms of traditional music theory. It really is just a series of major chord shapes moved around in an interesting way, and he's finding a nice melody to fit over the top, and identifying the actual key centre or key centres is quite tricky. Now, after the little electric guitar introduction, which I'm going to come on to in just a moment, the song proper starts, and there's this quite unusual series of major chords. We're starting with this chord shape. This is a B flat or an A sharp chord. It's one of these bar chords with the E form, the E shape. That's at the 6th fret, and we've got a bar on that. And just moving that shape around, so moving up to the 9th fret to a D flat, then to an A at the 5th fret, and then a G at the 3rd fret. Then we're switching chord forms to this A shape grip at the 5th fret here. This is a D chord, and then we've got the B flat again. Then at the same fret we're switching to this A shape, which is an E flat chord. And then we've got the A again, and that's the introduction. The strumming is quite simple here. For the most part, I'm just strumming down, 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 up, down. So nice and straightforward. Sometimes before chord changes, I'm throwing in a quick down, up, down, just to smooth the transition between chords. And then at certain points in the tune, I'm switching to all downstrokes just to pick up the energy a little bit. So it's still a kind of 8th note rhythm. With 8th notes, you've got the choice of going with down up strokes of the pick, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and or the same rhythm with all downstrokes of the pick, 1 and there's no difference in rhythm, but there is a difference in feel and a difference in energy. So if I just play the entire introduction, we've got and then for the verse, we're starting on that B flat again, and then we've got an A down 1 fret, and then we're going between a D and an A chord. So we've got in the sad town, cold iron hands, grab the party clowns outside. And then it's D to A again, rain falling great far away. So quite straightforward there. It's just a B flat to the A, and then we've got D to A and D to A. Then for the chorus, we're just going between this B flat and this E flat chord. So please, please, baby, let me. And then we've got the B flat down 2 frets to an A flat. We're kind of pushing into that A flat, rhythmically speaking. And we go around for another verse, another chorus. In one of the verses, I think the 3rd verse, there is a slight variation. That's where you've got the lyric about the clock in the washing machine. It starts off in the same way. Screaming, I met you this way, nice to me like ice. This bit here, we're going to a G instead. Clock they sent through a washing machine. So we've got G to D, and then B flat. B flat to A, so slight variation in the, I think it's the 3rd verse. In the solo section, it's the same chords as the introduction, and then at the end of the tune, we've just got this B flat to A flat several times, and then it goes into kind of another verse type progression. I've just switched to electric guitar, and want to take you through the electric part that you can hear right at the top of the song. And I read that this isn't an official introduction to the tune. It was just something that Barrett was noodling about with in the studio, and Gilmour happened to be recording it and decided that it would make a nice intro to the tune. And it's a really great part, and it starts like this. So we're playing on the top 3 strings, and we've got this shape to begin with. So I've got the 4th fret on the 3rd string, and then the open B and open top string. And then really what's happening is the melody note is changing on the top string. The melody is going from the open string to the 2nd fret to the 3rd fret, and then back to the 2nd fret. And we've got the open B and this B note at the 4th fret on the 3rd string held down as well, kind of creating a droney part underneath the melody. So it's you hear how the melody is changing, but the other notes, the other strings are staying the same. And when it repeats, we're just sliding into that B note at the 4th fret. Variation there, just playing the 3-2 open, and you've got a bit of the open B string coming through there as well. And it's all got a nice kind of swing feel to it. It goes round again. And the second time, melody ends here at the 4th fret on the top string. And then we've got this descending kind of bluesy part. Something like this. This is all just E minor pentatonic really, and starting at the 5th fret on the top string. We've got 5-3 open. I'm just pulling off twice there. Same thing on the B string. And then coming down on the 3rd string, so it's 4, slide to 2, pull to the open string, and then coming down the pentatonic scale here, and ending like that. And you can kind of hear some double stops in there as well, perhaps. Something like that. Then we're coming higher up the fretboard for this part, which sounds more difficult than it actually is. It's all based on a shape. It's quite easy to play. We've got fret 9 on the G and 8 on the B and an open top string. And we're setting up this kind of triplet rhythm. I'm picking strings 3, 1, 2. And on the 3rd repeat of that, I'm putting down my 3rd finger at fret 9 on the top string, and then I'm lifting it up again. And then it's just a question of moving that shape down 1 fret at a time. The picking remains the same. Comes down as far as the 3rd and 4th frets here. We play that twice. And then we've got another one of these descending pentatonic parts. It's almost the same as the first time round. So it starts off in almost exactly the same way, coming down with the pull-offs. Then we've got this. So open 5th string, and then hammering down with the 1st finger and the 2nd finger. Same thing on the 4th string. And then we're ending this B flat note here. So we've got B, open D, and then B flat. And then the song proper starts and the acoustic guitar comes in. I may as well also just take you through some of the lead guitar ideas that I was playing, and I wasn't playing exactly what Sid's playing on the record. I mean, on the record it's a little bit all over the place. There's some really nice stuff, but it doesn't seem like a fully formed part, so I kind of took some elements of that and then I filled in some of the gaps and did my own thing. And I was using a lot of triad shapes, and for the introduction and for much of the verse part of the tune I was just using some simple triad shapes, either on strings 2, 3, 4 or on the top set of strings 1, 2 and 3. So for the introduction, for example, I was on strings 2, 3, 4 and just doing some volume swells with these triad shapes. So starting on a B flat and D flat, then A, G, D, B flat, E flat, and then A. So quite simple triad shapes. This is where it's really useful to be in full command of your triads, and this is something that I'm always banging on about. So learn your triads, kids, and then you can use them to come up with cool parts in songs like this. And I was kind of mixing up different inversions here. So sometimes it was, you know, root position shape. We've got the first inversion shape, the second inversion shape. If you know those inversions, you can choose the one that sounds best, and you've got kind of a melody coming through with the top note of each of these triads. Then for the verse of the song, it was more triad shapes. I think I was moving to the top set of strings. So B flat to A, and sometimes I was just bringing out the melody just to connect between these triad shapes. So a D shape here, so D triad maybe with the open top string as well. That sounds cool. So that was really my verse part. So that was really my verse part. Then for the chorus, it's just B flat to E flat. So again, you can use triads, maybe this, like that, or maybe, so lots of options here. You can play around with that. And then at the end of the chorus, B flat going down to the A flat. Then there was a little solo section, and I was trying to pick out some of the stuff I was hearing Syd Barrett doing, get a few Barrett isms in there. And I started off with this, just coming down a B flat arpeggio kind of high up the neck, and then we got D flat, another arpeggio shape, and then just following the chords. I mean, when you're soloing over a chord progression like this, which is pretty unusual, there's not really a scale which will fit over all these chords. It's not like you can just think minor pentatonic or something. So I'm really just addressing each chord as it goes by with chord tones. That's the best way to play over a progression like this. So B flat, D flat, then we've got an A chord, and I was just doing a country-ish lick. So that's over the A chord, bending a B up to a C sharp. I've got this E note on top, a classic sort of country sound. And then over the G, same thing, just move down 2 frets. Then perhaps arpeggiate some D stuff. Then it goes to B flat, and Barrett seems to do this quite a lot. Play this kind of unison bend over a major chord. So over this B flat chord, I'm just bending fret 8 on the G, holding down fret 6 on the B. Got that nice unison bend sound. And ending the solo just sliding down to 6 on the G. So I hope there are a few ideas there, and really I was just improvising with those basic materials. And for those of you who would like a bit more detail on that, I will tab out some of what I was playing, but it's a really nice chord progression to play over. So I suggest you get someone to play those chords or loop those basic chords, and then quite a good workout with just your fretboard knowledge and your triad shapes, just to see if you can play over that chord progression. Let's go through the gear that I'm using today, and the acoustic parts I'm playing on my Yamaha 12 string. This is a FG 82012, and it's nothing fancy. This is a kind of budget friendly 12 string acoustic. and I don't play 12-string acoustic guitar that much. I can't really justify spending thousands of pounds on something super fancy, but I think Yamaha do great acoustic guitars, and if you're looking for a decent 12-string acoustic and you don't want to spend too much money, then I think this is a decent option. I think I only spent about £200 or £300 on this, and it sounds pretty good. For the electric parts, I'm using my Jazzmaster. I think this is a 65 reissue Jazzmaster going through a Fender Princeton. I've got a few pedals down here as well. I've got the Cali 76 compressor, and that's something I quite like to use on clean sounds. It just helps add a bit of sustain and a bit of body to the sound. I've got some delay coming from one of my favourite delay pedals, the Catlin Bred Bell Epoch Deluxe. And for those volume swells in my little playthrough at the start of this video, I was using an Ernie Ball volume pedal. That's it for today. If you do want more Sid, then check out my Terrapin lesson. And I can't remember exactly how long ago it was I did that, but you do a search on my channel and you should be able to find it. If you would like tab to this one, then I'm going to be writing out the acoustic part, and I will also scribble out my electric part as well. So that's going to be up on my Patreon page. Pay what you like, get access to that tab and loads of other stuff as well. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.